so excited.
And we're back once again, Bleach Wiki podcast, blah 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 blah. You guys do not want to hear what we were talking about right before I started recording.
Bleach After Hours.
Yeah,
we were talking about
we
were talking about some weird shit, but now we're gonna talk about Bleach. Once again, I am Shiffy.
And I'm Zill, theoretically.
And
maybe my evil twin, Jillian.
A silly snow today.
Yeah, because I know nothing, as I've admitted.
And I am Sunny. Or Son. What am I?
Something.
A lesbian vampire
Bob.
killer.
You're Bob. You're now
That's
Bob.
Chick with the dick. There you go.
And
George.
Sal, which I'm not involved with any of these people. So.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. We don't know him. Like, we really, he just kind of walked in. We asked to join. We're like, okay, I guess. So, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's only got like 30 bajillion edits.
Sal's definitely the one involved because he's the one most often hitting the user rights management button.
Yep. I mean, he's basically an unknown wiki. It's not like 30 bajillion edits, you know. We don't even know.
Yep. Okay, so what are we on? 6:15 now.
Yep.
6:15. Yeah. All right.
I'm on my orange. Sorry.
Okay, the Orange Podcast. Let's go.
This will now be an entire podcast solely about Ichigo's hair.
No, I'm eating an orange.
Oh, okay. That works
Just
too.
in case anyone thought I was making
Okay,
weird sexual noises in the background.
6:14. I love that I have been vindicated. I believe someone said
Then it was
something last time, and 6:15, and somebody said something last time, and I can recall. I don't know. I think there was somebody who pointed out that Orihime is completely useless, and yeah, who was that person?
You cockblocking son of a bitch! Shut up.
Oh, that's right. Zill said, "Oh,
Hey,
Orihime is
Sal,
important," and
Sal,
I
shut
said
up. You were wrong.
she is unimportant, and she had no point of going to the Soul Palace. And lo and behold, the one thing that she's good at doing, she couldn't do.
Sal,
Yeah,
Because
apparently,
apparently,
guys, let me talk. God, you were right for the wrong reasons. You
I was right.
like when you were saying that, you're like, oh, she can't fight, but in this one, it's like, oh, she can't heal. That was literally the extent of it.
her powers
No,
that
no,
defy
no.
God cannot heal a god.
It was not whether my whole point was not whether she could specifically not fight. It was whether she had any importance whatsoever in even going to the Soul Palace, and that would include her using her abilities, which she did and which they did not work. Which is really interesting considering that even Aizen said she has the power to defy God and time regression and all this other shit that everybody has said throughout the entire course of the manga about her abilities. And lo and behold, the one daggone thing, the one saving grace that she has is totally made moot in one panel. So my whole point stands that she was entirely useless to this entire arc.
Tell me when you're
far
finished,
my
I can do the
concern.
click click.
Yeah,
She could have been the savior of the day on that point, and she literally did nothing.
Well, fuck you, Sparkle. That's all I have to say.
Sparkle?
Yeah, Sparkle. That's
Did
the
I
thing.
miss something last week?
No, I'm just telling him to fuck off with his opinion. That's all.
Oh, bleep bleep bleep. Yeah, bleep. I'm the censor.
Okay, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Bleep off of his bleep opinion.
and anyway, I think we jumped a little ahead of ourselves to the Orihime trying to heal and failing thing.
That was like page 16. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we kind of okay. So where are we starting? An earthquake or some shit?
I don't know. Is it page 16? Because I can't see the
Yeah,
page
no,
number in the image.
it was page 16. I have it all memorized, like Axel.
Except he doesn't have the part memorized where he's wrong.
So
Excuse me, Sal. Do you want to go? You want to go? Want to fight by McDonald's? We'll do it. I'll do it.
No. Instead, how about you go and eat McDonald's, and then when you're dead, I'll have claimed victory.
Yes, I will die for eating McDonald's. Okay, great. I'm dead 31
Well, eating
times
too much
over.
McDonald's, arguably.
Eating too much of anything, you die. God, can we just please talk about the chapter and not my shortcomings?
And
for
there
once?
goes the juice.
Yes, please. No, that's not
Chapter,
out of context.
Okay, chapter.
Well, that was on the first page.
Yes.
Existence starts to crumble. Everybody
Well,
else is like, what the hell? And
And-
interestingly enough, your heart goes like, what the hell's happening?
Holy
You
shit.
said, This can only mean
Urahara flipped out for once.
the
It's hilarious.
royal guard has failed, and whatever, and then the king is dead, and it's like the first time that kind of made me question something about this the manga. I mean the series in general is where Kubo has like somebody he has established as the most intelligent person in the daggone room doesn't know, is freaked out and doesn't know what to do. Yorhar. And even when he's been somewhat surprised, he's never been this daggone set back. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting point to make, but also it kind of like flies in the face of everything that this man has ever achieved in his role.
Like
in
everyone
Bleach.
has a limit, Like everyone has a limit to what they can do. Even Urahara was like, oh, even when he's like, fighting Aizen, like, oh, even though I just blasted with level 91 Hado, he's gonna come back and like, oh, maybe I can't do this, and maybe I have to wait for Ichigo to beat him to actually seal him away and stuff. Like everyone has a limit.
But he planned it from the start. Number one, and number two.
Yeah, but like,
if you
how do you plan it? Like,
even
how do you plan
Aizen
around,
said it had not been for the Hogyoku, I would have been dead. Even Aizen said that. So
I know, I'm aware, but what I'm trying to say is like everyone has a limit, and like I guess his limit is, oh no, like reality's destabilizing because someone died. And like I can't resurrect people because I'm not Orihime. So how does he come around that?
She can't resurrect people either.
Exactly.
But I think my point is that Yorihara is good at always planning a step ahead. This wasn't a total disregard of his capabilities of planning and making seeing the big picture or anything like that. This actually kind of flies in the, it pretty much goes back to my whole issue with the Almighty. It pretty much flies in the face of, just common sense. Everything Yorihara has done in this series has always had made sense. It always had a purpose. It always had a plan, and you could get behind it. The Almighty doesn't really make much sense in this manga, so you clearly can't get behind it. And he basically uses it to trump something that's just, I guess, within the logic of the series is all I'm saying.
Well, speaking of the Almighty, I think this chapter confirms something that I said, which is a very rare event about it. And I mean, we probably wait for seeing it for confirmation. But when Jujimon was explaining his ability, he was like, "Okay, so I can see to the future, and I can manipulate power." So it seems like the Almighty also is the source of his power manipulation abilities, which is what I was talking about way back when 610 came out.
But wait a minute.
I wonder who gave him that
point
name.
That the Almighty, isn't it the whole point that the Almighty wasn't activated until that fight with Ichibe? So how is the other?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, so then how can you make?
Because he said it. That's why.
But wait a minute, no. You're making the assertion that the Almighty is connected to all his power-related abilities, but if that's the case, then why is he saying the Almighty wasn't activated until he, fought Ichibe? That doesn't make any sense, so that means your assertion is wrong.
Well, clearly all of the Almighty actually does is it just makes his eyes go wonky. Nothing else.
Those are creepy. It's like he looks like
he said it himself. He's like,
oh,
I have the Almighty.
Oh my god, am I allowed to say a sentence today? Am I?
No, am I? That's a good question, because I keep getting
interrupted. I have not said fuck all I've said is beep.
Wait, your turn.
And I'm done. Carry on.
What I'm saying is, like,
Irish
he
system.
himself said in the manga, my ability is to see in the future and to manipulate power, and he's like, the Almighty does both of those things. I'm not saying whether or not it, like, retcons anything. I'm saying that's what he said. So deal with it.
And that could be taken in a different way.
Here's the thing. At least what we've seen with other Sternritter, it doesn't take some kind of activation or shout to make the stuff work. I mean, look at someone like Bosby. His ability is his all-encompassing ability of the heat is pretty much ever persistent.
No, do you not hear him say burner finger unlimited?
He can use fire without having to say anything,
Yeah,
but that's not what the
he
point
uses
is.
individual abilities that are part of it, but it's not like it seems that the heat itself is always somewhat active.
that may be true of other people's powers, but it was already determined by what Hashwall said that wasn't the case with the Almighty. He didn't use it up until that point.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that with
So
when it comes to like the whole people drinking his blood and whatnot, that's I'm guessing some kind of lower part of it. He doesn't need to really activate anything for that.
wait.
And
So
obviously, or when a Stern Ritter dies and he gets their powers back, obviously that happens when they die. He doesn't need to recite any incantation or
wait.
whatever.
I think we are skipping over a whole bunch of stuff. Zill, what exactly does he say?
All right, well, I'm going to go to Manga Panda and Manga Stream for this, so excuse me while my crappy computer makes my voice go robot.
Are we on the? We're talking about, no, we're looking at the current chapter here.
Yep.
No, we have to now go to robot speech.
Oh, yeah. Just give me a minute.
Input. No.
I'll load it up.
The wonky eyes most likely have something to do with the whole seeing into the future thing.
I'm pretty sure
he looks like he has Bell's palsy.
He gains another eye whenever he uses his ability. That's what it looks like.
He gains another eye. Oh my god, he has Jujutsu.
When he like
He's gonna turn into Eye Man.
Yes, Eye Man, the powerful. No, when he carried Ichibe's Bankai, he gained one, and then when he countered the Futon Daisat Zero, he gained another. So that's what it looks like. Okay, so I've got Manga Panda and Manga Stream loaded up. I'll read both. Alright, so starting with Manga Panda. I am A, the Almighty. The ability to see through every future. Everything is for my taking and giving, and I can easily give you all the Reiatsu contained in my sword. Manga Stream. My Shrift is A, the Almighty. Able to foresee all the future and the ability to steal all power. I am also able to give my Reiatsu, which is also my sword, to you. Ichigo. That's what he said. In both, and they correlate.
And that is our new user today. That is Robotzil.
Okay, so he says he's a daggone ability to steal your daggone power. And what does that have to do with his power distribution?
See if Jujuman doesn't say daggone by the end of the series, I will be very unhappy.
He said no. You said he said, oh, I put my Retsu in a thing or whatever. Like he didn't say anything about So. Did
he say anything about the thing, the person?
This chapter didn't mention anything about giving and taking powers from Stern Ritter. About the whole drinking blood and whatnot. I think that's been determined.
I think the whole taking the power thing determines by him going to sleep, and that whole thing that Yuryu was being explained to by Hashwall.
Yeah.
He becomes a father of the Quincy. That's when he gets the powers back and stuff like that. He has to, do that. That's how he takes the powers back from the dead and everything like that. But as far as like him being able to, take people's power, I don't know if it's specifically the power that they have or just their energy or what, because he's not really being specific in that thing. But what it looks like is that his power is some type of omniscience or whatever, and him being able to see what those, people's powers allows him to, I don't know, counter them or whatever have you. But as far as his soul distribution and all that, that's more like power management and everything like that. And him giving out powers doesn't seem to have anything to do with the Almighty, because if we go back to what Hashwolf said when he activated it, he didn't have it activated until that point in time because he didn't want to daggone run the risk of not having his army. So.
In all, Jujuman's powers don't quite make a whole lot of sense in total. There's a lot that hasn't quite been said.
Well, there you go. That's my biggest issue with it.
They make more sense than King Crimson, so I'm okay with it.
I mean, we could, look, this is basically, I'm gonna give one to Zill. I'm not really saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't think that it means exactly what you probably was suggesting. I think
you give one to Zill. Was it a big one?
I think it
was very
one
small.
Is separate from the other because Almighty seems to be a power in itself, and then he has this power distribution stuff, which seems to be his own inherent power, and then the Quincy power. So it seems like three things going on.
I don't think I'm not saying his soul distribution thing is what's part of his Almighty. I'm saying like his outward power thing, like when he was trying to steal Ichibe's power, and when he gave his power to Ichigo to
Well,
make
I
him
think
attack.
that's still part of the soul distribution thing because remember, like I said, the Almighty apparently wasn't activated until after Ichibei changed his name and kicked his ass, kicked his ass off out of the Dagon Soul Palace, and then he came back. Then that's when it's activated, and then everything that happens after is pretty much the Almighty.
Okay.
The Reshi thing, I don't think that has anything to do with the Almighty, though. I think that's some Quincy thing. Because he's like, oh, your Quincy blood won't allow you to...
Just Quincy things.
I don't know.
You know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just
I don't know. Look, nothing
Quincy.
makes
We're on
sense.
Quincy Kai now. Quincy Kai.
We're trying to like rationalize and understand, and really none of anything about this guy makes
I
sense.
define as Quincy Kin. Now check your privilege, you scum.
You cisgendered scum.
You cisgendered Shinigami scum.
You asexual orange-haired scum.
But what I would like to
You
talk about
gingerist.
is the one thing that I have been intrigued about in this series.
The only thing in like the past year or so.
Ukitaki, I know Ukitaki.
Ukitaki, like what the hell is going on, and all I can think
It's turned into a book.
and listen to his conversation with Shansui about the Kamakaki thing and really explain anything, but from what the translations of Kamakaki is, it's somewhat akin to
Oh dear.
Akin to what?
Did we lose Sal?
We
Yep.
lost Sal. We lost him.
Jesus.
We lost him. Come
and
back.
back.
Oh, you're back.
You might want to repeat yourself, Sal. You blanked out.
Oh yeah. I had to look it up, and we don't really have a really understanding of what Kamakaki entails, but from what the translation is, it seems to be something like divine presence. So I think there's something, and apparently from his conversation with Shansui, it was something he had apparently prepared to do,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
something that is apparently taxing to do, because Shansui's like, oh, you did that kind of thing. So, I don't know.
But anyway,
So there might be something that slips by the Almighty.
Although he it did look like he was being peeled away somehow. Like it was like his outward appearance was being peeled away to reveal some sort of shell with a void in it. Remember in Dramatic the Pendulum when Aizen was hiding behind that barrier and Shinji kind of pulled it away with his hand because he's a badass.
Oh, Nora Makiri, is it?
Yeah, whatever it was. It was a bit like that, but in manga form. So it reminded me it looked like he was becoming pages of something, and I don't think it's turning into a book, but I guess we'll see what it
oh
turns
my god,
out
he's
to be.
turning into a book.
See, the thing
What
that-
I find interesting about this whole thing is that you didn't find anybody find it weird that Bach arrives, his big moment, in the Soul Palace. Soul King said nothing, as if
The Soul King has been brain
he
dead
was in
the
a coma or
entire
something.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a coma or something like that. And then on top of that, apparently one of his abilities or capabilities is to see the future or whatever have you. So we're supposed to believe that he didn't know you were coming, didn't set up no plans, nothing. I mean, it just is a lot that's kind of odd about the whole
he
Here's-
situation.
decided to sit back and chill.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna let you kill me.
Yeah, well, here's the weird thing. So in 612, we got that expansion on the scene where Jujiman comes in and kills and stabs him, where he's like, "Oh, you can't even run away," which implies that he knew that the Soul King couldn't see it. But also, he says that the Soul King probably foresaw this day coming anyway. So God knows if he could even move or talk, and if maybe
wait
he was
a
just there to regulate shit.
But if you can see the future, then that means you could affect change.
If wait, here's a problem with that. It seems like this whole Jujiman knows that he's been like this for a while, if not forever. We never had any confirmation that aside from him being able to open his eyes and wake up and go to sleep, that he can move or talk aside, because it seems like he's just only there to correlate the movement of souls, as was said in this chapter. And the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if this Soul King was a fake.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
Because when we
But
saw
when
him in this
Jake
chapter
is
with the close-ups, he doesn't even look human. Like he was like a blow-up doll.
And like I said, they're not even
But that
speaking
if
or
he's
anything
a
like
fake, if he's a fake, that doesn't really explain why suddenly everything started
I
breaking down.
I know. Like I know
that.
about that.
I can answer that.
Oh, okay, Sal, you go, because I probably don't.
Because
Decision.
sometimes everything is not what it appears to be. Plain and simple. Like, things can break down and everything like that. That's all well and good. But there's something, like I've been saying for a while now, there's something there we are totally missing that is not apparent and maybe be the biggest plot twist ever. And it might come out to be really stupid, but it might come out to be really good. You never know.
Ooh,
But
shoot! I want to hear this.
But I think the whole point is that there's something going on here, and I don't think that even if he saw into the future, and even if he's immobile or whatever have you, that he didn't have some type of contingency plan or something like that for Bach. It just doesn't stand. It just doesn't stand up to water. It doesn't make any sense. Like you can see into the future and you don't do nothing. Like, come on.
Oh, I would highly assume that that something is going to happen, that there was some kind of contingency, but now I want to hear what you think it is, because I really don't have any guesses.
Well,
Well,
before we get to
if
that,
I had
I'm
to go by
curious.
if I had to go by the Kamakaki thing, I would think that there is something going on with the Soul King's, presence, as it were.
The Soul King
I
is
don't
it was
know
a shadow confirmed.
Yeah,
Well, the thing that I
there's
wondered
there's
about
something.
was
I mean, I haven't elaborated on it, so I can't really give you a whole thing just yet. But there's something that doesn't sit right with me. So,
um,
Anyway,
son, are you alive?
you guys
Son.
are robots. I'm
Excuse me, we
here.
couldn't even hear you. We couldn't hear you.
You can't hear me? You can't hear me?
We couldn't for a while
Okay,
there.
could you hear me, Shiv?
I can hear you. Well, I can hear you now.
I wasn't talking. I was waiting for everybody. That's
Okay.
probably why.
Oh,
I was
okay.
letting you guys talk.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, pretty much like everyone kind of lost their shit.
Yep, and Yor reached turned into the wall to see Dornez, which was expected.
But
And
let's see.
unexpected.
I mean, Kisuke. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. Kisuke's eyes are just completely dead right now. I mean, his
Ichigo.
he was just like, oh, holy shit. I mean that is what his expression is saying right now. And let's see, I'm just looking on the same page. Let's see, Ruki is just kind of like, well, damn. And
Well, damn.
and
Well, yeah.
and Kenpachi's face is just, it's like, it's kind of just like, oh, okay.
I won't
Okay.
get to rape people.
Oh.
We'll get the rape people.
Senai Pachi confirmed. I can't. Yeah.
Okay,
hold
now
on.
and then there's Urahara's guess, which I'm kind of surprised by this one. Urahara's usually pretty right, even about things he's not sure about. This time he was just completely far off the mark.
I think. If we,
Oh, you're roboting.
God, son of a gun. Yeah, because I'm looking at something. I think that was supposed to be a simple dramatic irony, because like he's like, oh, maybe they got there too late, but no, Ichigo got there too early, as far as I'm concerned.
But I mean, usually when something crazy or whatever happens and Urahara's nowhere near the scene, he's usually pretty good. Him or Mayuri are usually pretty good at guessing the actual course of events. This time he was just completely off,
Yeah, probably
which is
he
rare for him.
Well, because I don't think anyone predicted Juju Man turning tricking Ichigo into attacking the Soul King himself, because no one would think that was going to happen. Because everyone's like, oh, I mean, even probably in universe, people were like, oh, he'll do it himself. So no one's
I mean,
thinking,
really,
let's trick Ichigo into doing it.
technically Ichigo did get there too late, because had he gotten there earlier, he could have gotten there before the Soul King even got stabbed.
Well,
Because
presuming that he didn't go there by accident.
It was Bach that did do it.
Yeah.
He did do the stabbing, but it was Ichigo pulling out the sword that caused things to get even worse.
I guess. But...
Yeah, if the sword wasn't there in the first place.
Or it was him attempting to pull it out that made it even worse. Had he gotten there earlier, he could have stopped. He possibly could have stopped him before he even stabbed the Soul King in the first place.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But you know what Urahara's face reminds me of? This page.
Which page is Zill talking about? Oh boy. Uh-oh. What is Zill talking about? Wait, I don't even know what that's from. What?
That's from when Ichigo found out that Zangetsu was not Zangetsu.
Oh.
Oh.
It's like the exact same face. It is hilarious.
Yeah, kind of. Let's see. Yep. The razor wires is certainly it was certainly fun though.
Yeah, I mean, as useless as it might be.
I like Yoruichi's statement when she shows up behind him. He's like, "You talk too much. Maybe that's why your guard's down." You really think Bach's gonna let his guard down? Even he's not that stupid.
Sick burn. You talk too much.
That should totally be her new quote, like canon.
Oh please, can we not get into that again?
I'm just saying, it's a good quote.
Well, maybe once, like, if it's still that good when Senate comes out, maybe, but cause that sounds like the manga stream version. And manga stream has things like I'm not here to fuck around, Bonkai. So I'm not sure we should take it with without a grain of salt or two.
I'm not gonna fuck around, Bankai.
Yeah, that was Kensei when he's fighting Mask.
All right.
I could see Kensei.
It captured the spirit, but like it was like it's manga stream. I can't trust them anymore.
It's less ridiculous than some of the other stuff they've done.
Well, I guess it's less ridiculous than Manga Panda's various mishaps.
Yeah.
On.
Of course, let's just not forget that Stream did decide to come up with Kumbai fucking Ya.
Yeah, Kumbai fucking Ya, and
Who's Kumbai fucking Ya?
Kenpachi in the last chapter.
He said Kumbai fucking Ya.
According to Stream,
in manga Stream, he's like, I don't care if everyone wants to sit around a fire and sing Kumbai fucking Ya.
That's quite cool. I actually like that.
It's great. Sal, are you there by chance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want you to miss all this excitement. Yeah, I mean.
Well, something that kind of stuck with me was the whole, he's the reason that souls can be shifted between souls and between Soul Society and stuff, between the realms. I actually think that quite possibly he could be replaced. Like someone could take that role if he's not like the all powerful being sort of shit. That if he's just like, if that's his sole purpose, just to be the balancer, he's not actually powerful.
I'm glad Kami missed that one. Sole purpose.
Who missed it?
Kami.
Well, now you just said it.
Well, hopefully you won't watch this.
But
that actually does. That actually sounds
SOLE.
That sounds reasonable actually, because I'm reminded of who was it in Greek mythology? Okay, you two probably know this. Son and Sally. Who was it in Greek mythology that was holding up the sky?
Atlas.
Yeah,
Atlas. It reminds me of Atlas, and this never happened in the original mythology, but in the Percy Jackson books, like he could be replaced by someone could just roll under there, hold it up.
Well, no, the whole concept behind that is that any all-powerful being would be capable of doing it. I believe even in DC, at one point, Shazam, when he was trying to get his powers from somewhere else other than the wizard, he had to go and do these trials, and he had to go Atlas is one of the namesakes of which he gets his stamina from, and Atlas basically told him, well, I need you to, hold this up for me or something like that, and
Yeah.
I need you to get somebody to hold this up for me or something like that. Or Atlas ended up getting killed or something like that, so he had to find somebody to hold him up, and he had to get another god to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and Percy Jackson, even Percy himself could do it, although it was really heavy. So he's like, "Oh God, my arms! I can't lift. I can't deal."
Why Atlas
But-
is the Titan of stamina.
Yeah, that's why. But my reasoning here is, if the Soul King Hammer were replaced, then it would probably be it might tie into, and this might be a bit of a reach, but it might be tying into the very vague pure blood comment that was made like 300 chapters ago by Grant Fisher when he's talking about Ichigo.
Yeah.
But it was like, "Oh, your son's a pure blood," and
You want to say, you know what's funny? Y'all might want to record this. Oh, we are recording it.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
I thought the exact same thing that Zill just said in passing and stuff like that. I said, I wonder if they were gonna do something like that. Replace the Soul King with Ichigo, with the understanding that Ichigo would be nothing more than, because I find it interesting. He's all of the races. He's potentially got all this daggone power, so who better to daggone fill the role of somebody holding every daggone thing together? And then there's that whole thing with Shunsui saying, yeah, he might not be coming back.
Yeah,
I would love it if the series ended with the one, and that's how it came to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, with Ichigo on the throne.
The Fresh Prince of the Soul Palace.
The Fresh Prince of Existence. But, although,
what more poetic, turn of events is Ichigo being, killing the king at his own hand, only to replace him because he has to take on the burden of existence.
Oh God!
yeah,
Oh
plot twist. Bleach has always meant to be a Macbeth allegory.
There you go. I mean, obviously it can't be so deep, but shoot, if Naruto can end with Sasuke and Naruto going at it and blowing up their hands and shit, then why can't something like this happen?
I don't know. Maybe because Kubo's got a bit more tact. I don't know.
Wasn't that how
I don't
pre-Shippuden
think he has
ended?
much tact.
Wait,
Really?
how what? How what?
Wasn't that how pre-Shippuden ended? I mean, it ended with a huge fight, and they both just like.
Well,
No,
it was literally the same.
They
Yeah, they did the same thing where they like hit a Chidori with a Rasengan, but this time it was
They were so
more.
powerful.
Yeah, and like it
Really,
wasn't
they
as,
did it twice.
It wasn't as much of like
but it was even more powerful though. Like
and-
they were.
and like the whole thing wasn't as epic as it was the first time because Kishi was like, "Oh, the final fight's gonna be this anyway," and everyone was like, "Oh, okay."
I mean the animated version of
Pillow
that
face Sasuke, beautiful.
Huh?
Pillow
but
face Sasuke.
just the when I saw the animated version of that before I kind of completely gave up all things Naruto and just decided fuck this shit. I give up. I lose track. But then again, the thing that turned me off to it was the anime and the 85 filler episodes between the two series.
Son,
But anyway, that
say
original
anything wrong with
fight,
filler episodes, so
seeing
hate
that
it.
original fight in the
Excuse
anime
me,
was pretty goddamn good.
Excuse me, I'm okay with filler when it is halfway decent, not just like doesn't mean I like the invasion arc just because it's filler. That's not how it works.
when he
and when I say pillow face Sasuke, I'm talking about when Naruto punched him and like his face folded around his fist. Like I probably look it up right now.
Oh, I know
So-
exactly what you're talking about. Oh god, I love that though. That was
We are
great.
Okay,
so
don't
off
robot.
topic.
Pull it up and then tell him.
This is so off topic. We are talking about Bleach. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah,
are we?
who was it?
But
Was
hey,
it
I mean,
not
look,
you that brought it up?
I don't mind filler, and one-off filler episodes are usually not bad, like when it's not a full arc. But when you have 85 of those in a row, you might as well make an arc.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, well, some of them were arcs actually. There was like the signed arc, right?
None of them were more than 2 episodes long.
Okay,
The-
sorry,
the-
boss.
The arcs between the animated stuff between before Shippuden was none of them were more than 2 episodes.
I remember them. Thank you, boss.
They were so like that. That's the thing that kind of just turned me off to Naruto after a long time. I'll eventually get back into it.
That sort of is what annoys me about like Fairy Tail, because over at the wiki it's like the Loki arc, and it's like, isn't that like 2 episodes long? It's like, that's an arc, really? It's like, I like Loki. Don't get me wrong, Loki is one of my favorite characters, but it's like really wasn't an arc. It was a, oh, by the way, I'm a spirit. Ah, you saved my life.
That's like them changing Bleach and having like the characterizer arc. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
not
mean,
an arc.
if we referred to every one episode filler bit as an arc, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, way
if
back,
we call the thing with the dead pastry chef an arc, with
we
with
had like
Yumi
a
Chica,
billion.
like, huh? That's not an arc.
We had a billion like one or two episode filler mini arcs way back in the beginning of the Ironcar arc, I think.
Oh, yeah, like the one I was just talking about.
Okay,
the
son, here's
dead
what I'm
pastry
talking
chef.
about. Here's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the pastry chef. There's
this
the
is
line
a demotivational poster, but is the image I'm talking about.
Oh, right, in the anime, right? Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
Yeah,
No.
you know, I actually didn't watch that fight in the anime.
Sasuke's
It bored the
pillow
life
face.
out of me, and I stopped it.
yeah, probably the
Despite all the
best.
kick-ass attacks, sexy beaches, and epic moments of insane hilarity, there's nothing like seeing the douchebag get punched in the face. I actually agree with that.
I thought I'd see the reason I got confused was because I obviously, was reading the manga and I was like, I don't remember his face folding around. But yeah, I actually didn't watch those episodes. Whenever I caught up with him, I was like, actually, this is going to be pretty predictable. I don't really want to watch it.
but back to Bleach.
Back to the more
here's a question.
important series.
We have to address one thing that we don't want to address because he's not a factor currently, which is weird. But Yuryu's role in this whole situation
Where the hell
now
has he
that
been? Where is he?
Yeah.
What's going
unthinkable
on?
has happened.
Wait. Could you repeat that? What?
Who are you?
Uryu, yes. Yeah, him. That guy.
His role after the unthinkable has happened. Now, I believe
the
before
fuck
we
has
had
he
this whole
been?
thing, we were talking about him riding that line between being culpable in the whole situation and him not being entirely guilty. And at this point, it's like, okay, yeah, you've done nothing to prevent
Yeah,
it. So
I mean, for
really has no justification at
for
this
the
point.
Quincy King's successor, he really hasn't been doing much recently. You'd think he'd at least be there.
He's
Yeah,
been
and if he
saying
had
he's going to
some-
do much.
If he had some type of other motive or a plan or something like that, then yeah, before the king dies, that probably would have been the time to enact it.
Yeah.
Like
Chapter
Yeah.
616, first page, Juju Man being shot through the heart with an arrow from behind. Second page, Uryu, the killer of kings.
no, you're giving them too much.
But
No.
giving
The
Goku-
second
Then they'll realize-
panel will
then they'll
be,
realize-
I'm the Almighty, though.
Then we'll realize that
But-
they're the
but
ones
son,
who are
but
writing
son,
back on
but
Bleach.
No,
son,
you know what's really
son,
gonna happen? It's
Uryu-
gonna turn out that this Soul King was not only a fake, but it was actually like a puppet sewn by Uryu.
Yes. He sued
What
it
the
like,
hell? When did he
sued
turn
it like,
into...
He sued it like Shutara did. In a blink of an
When-
eye.
That's a callback to a.
No,
No,
but
it wasn't
son,
even
But, son,
And-
but here's the thing, son.
Rurouni Kenshin?
Juju Man said that Ryu could surpass him, so maybe that's how it's gonna happen. He's gonna get around his fucking.
He's going to make a pass at Ichigo?
No, he's gonna get around his omniscience. I mean, it's not unheard of for the BFF of the main character to defeat the final villain in like a shonen, even though it is more common for the main protagonist to do so. I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho had like fucking Kuwabara be like the ultimate power to defeat everything, and I'm pretty sure there are others that I can't think of right now because I'm really tired, but I can see Uryu
You're
defeating.
really tired? Is it not like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.?
I went over with 12. All right, don't judge.
You're up at 12 p.m.?
Yes, a.m.
What, in my time?
my time.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Why are you
So
up at
you've
12?
so you've been up for 15 hours.
Yep.
Why?
So I can keep my sleep schedule on track because I wake up at 12 on Thursdays to get the chapter. That's why. Deal
Oh
with
my
it.
god, you're obsessed.
Here
Yeah, I
it
am.
is.
Really? You really need to put your health first there, dude. That's fucking
I'm
weird.
getting enough sleep. So moving on.
Yep. Anyway, let's see. So, yeah, we're talking about stuff somewhere.
We were.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I have no
I
clue.
like,
Some fucking thing is gonna go on in the next chapter.
yeah,
I'm
I said I
intrigued.
did think
I want to know
Ugatake
what's gonna go on, but
I thought that Ugatake was going to replace him. That's what I thought whenever he was like, "Oh yes, about Kamakake." Although every time I think of the word Kamakake, I just think of divine cake. I need to know what that word means.
I'm
divine
sorry.
cake, divine cake.
I'm sorry. I can't get over how you pronounce it.
Sorry, what? Why am I not allowed to?
I'm thinking other things, but
It's your accent. I hear you say divine kick.
I'm thinking something else. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into that.
All right.
It's cake.
Well,
I said cake. What's wrong with cake? Cake.
What?
Cake. I can't remember. What way did I say it?
I'm just gonna
call me kake. It's not cake. It's kake.
I'm just gonna
I
do
know. That's why
I'm just gonna do
I
an
know what it
innocent little
is.
whistle here, and no one's gonna know what I'm thinking.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
if we're gonna leave, well, I think we've exhausted the chapter because a lot of it was just reaction shots.
Oh right, that's we were gonna mention this thing. Hey, look, it's future Quincy's birthday today.
Oh yeah,
I-
happy birthday.
Guys, wait. How does a time period have a birthday? How does the future have a birthday?
Don't ask, don't tell.
I don't know. How did Quincy blood make you kill a god?
Something like that.
Magic. Applied magic.
Exactly.
Quincy
Oh, yes.
Kai.
And now I'm going to have some fun here. Here is a quote that I could totally see Juju Man saying. And just because I can. This is one of my favorite video game quotes ever. So naive. You have no idea, do you? What a pity. You make an old man cry. Arrogant, crude little shits like you come around from time to time. Listen well, young one. The wall is high. Higher than you will ever know. Ultimate sacrifice is sublime. Now draw.
Can I just like can I ask?
I don't know. I can see Fox say. I don't know. Some part of me.
Why did that quote start off with like a noble Englishman voice and then turn into a friggin' pack?
Okay, actually, the character has kind of a dark, like deep English accent, but that was death metal from No More Heroes.
Of course. Yeah. All right. So before we end off, I promise.
Are we ending?
I guess so, because I think we've talked about everything. Because like I said, a lot of it was reaction shots, and we went over all the major events.
Yeah. Anyway.
But I promised to ask this to of people in the podcast on my blog. So I don't have a source for this, but I'm gonna let's just assume it's true. Kubo said in an interview that he was planning to have Urahara be the main antagonist instead of Aizen originally, which is why Urahara was kind of shady at the beginning of the series. But then halfway through the Soul Society arc, he decided, oh wait, I'm gonna have Aizen be the bad guy instead because it's more interesting. So he turned it into like a fake death scenario. He was actually gonna be dead for real earlier, and then turned it around, and then now Urahara's a good guy. So what do you guys think of that? I'm curious.
This has come up in conversation multiple times in this chat.
I don't think that would have worked because, first of all, like, okay, you killed off a pretty much unknown captain that we have no attachment to, that only, everybody's like, oh, I'm so shocked, because they didn't really know who he was any daggone way. And then that would mean that everything that we know about him currently would be false, and all that, those good, happy feelings of a happy-go-lucky captain would have been what was real, I guess. And then if he did it that way, then what about, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I really just don't see it.
But
I didn't think it was shitty at all at the start. I really didn't.
Yeah,
I
didn't get that.
I think Urahara might have actually made a pretty interesting villain.
I like him as a good guy. He's kind of one of those guys that you go, why is he so shitty and secretive? But then you're like, actually, he's quite good.
But here's the thing: if not Urahara, then who? If he was the bad guy, then who is his counter?
You mean it's like yeah, Aizen will come back in the day.
Aizen is dead. You already determined that.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, who would be the big good? Probably Yamamoto. More so than he was, because he was really only the active, like, big good on the side of the good guys in this arc.
It would be
And, like,
Tessai.
and I guess
it would totally be Tessai.
Yeah, Tessai was the real superhero all along.
Totally.
But anyway, I do have one more thing from the previous chapter, because CNET's translation of 614 just came out, and I think I found the sign that the end cometh. More so than just the Soul King being stabbed, Orihime has called Ichigo Kurosaki-kun.
Oh God.
Well, I
The-
mean that is
The end
what she
begins.
actually says.
The end begins. This will
Unfortunately.
trigger Ichigo's full hollow state, and he will destroy all of everything.
That is what she actually says. It's just that her voice actress in the original in the original Japanese just makes it really fucking annoying.
Kurosaki-kun! Kurosaki-kun! I love
Don't worry, we
that.
all
There,
hate it.
that's how I first found Bleach. Did you ever see the thing that people made, that animated thing where they're twiddling the leak? It's
Oh, yeah,
I find-
the-
so I always find that
Oh,
quite
with
funny.
Yevon Polka.
Yeah, I find that really funny. I don't even know.
I love that song though. If you ever just listen to the whole song, Yevon Polka is a great song.
I don't even know what that translates as. What is it?
It really doesn't.
It
Translate.
doesn't translate. It doesn't mean anything.
It's just like a name. What was it? It just means Ava's polka. Like it's a name.
Yeah.
Yevon Polka.
Is that a name? That's a name. That's
That's
a
the name of the
Japanese name.
song. Yevon Polka. It's
Oh, right,
Finnish.
okay.
It's Savo Finnish.
Okay, so it means like the ketchup song, kind of the way that was just like what sort of thing. Okay.
And the name of the group that did it is called Loituma.
Loituma. Okay, cool. But I like that.
It's
I like
not-
that.
it's
That's
not
the
a
first thing I ever
Tuma.
seen in Bleach, and then I saw the bloody line, and I didn't want to watch it. And then I watched it.
It's not a Tuma. Oh boy, Arnold Schwarzenegger references. We've gone the deep end.
It's
Or at
not
least I
Tuma.
have.
Sew him up and get him out of here.
All right. Well.
Get to the
I-
chopper. Sorry.
Anyway,
Obligatory
so
Predator
that's
reference.
that's about all we got. Salutations everyone. Don't forget to keep reading and don't fall for Wiki staff shipping tactics.
Yeah.
Shipping. Canon shipping, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. The salutations.